Good morning, everybody, or good morning. It's afternoon on the other side of the world. I'm the only one on the West Coast. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to the bridge. We are on episode 125 today. So we're just kind of moving right along. Yeah, got a great guest with us today and a great guest co-host, and we're going to get started. Tash, have you got a quote for us?
I do have a quote for you, for the audience today. And the quote is a very simple one, but it's near and dear to my heart. When people show you who they are, believe them. And that's a quote by Dr. Maya Angelou.
Oh, I
All
love
right.
that. That's a
Love it.
nice.
And I've heard it plenty of times. Yes.
And it's very true, isn't it?
It
So,
is.
uh, Destinee, give us a little introduction to kind of who you are and how you got to where you're at.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Tosh, for having me here. Right now, I've always told everybody actually that I consider myself a mixed bag of gems. I feel like I've lived about nine lives, like the cat, and I'm more of a dog person, but I'm an animal lover overall. And so I've been in so many different industries from warehouse management, retail management, HR. I've lived in four different states in the past 6 years. I'm a determined explorer, student of life. And right now, at this exact moment, I'm kind of in the messy middle. I think I'm having my midlife crisis a little bit early, considering that I'm still in my late 20s. But there's a shift happening right now. I'm kind of in the season of transformation as I figure out my path forward. And I'm excited to see what happens right now. Also, I'm kind of in my, I think Dr. Brene Brown, that not a breakdown, but the spiritual awakening
Yeah.
season of my life too. So right now, I'm just focused on health and wellness. I'm working on being a better me. I'm not seeking validation. I've let in a lot of noise into my life, especially from social media, which I'm currently taking a break from completely. And yeah, I'm always open to try new things. I'm very adventurous, very lively, very talkative, and
Good,
I'm
good. That's wonderful.
ready to
Well,
see.
well, yeah. Transition times are very rich times of learning. And
Yes,
believe me, I mean, I'm 75 and I've been through them many, many times. And they're real, you kind of learn to ride the wave. And I know Tasha's got a great story too. I'm glad you haven't given up social media to the fact that I couldn't find you on LinkedIn. Because that's where I found Tash too. And there's a great core of people there that show
yes,
you who they are, so to speak, and you know that they're authentic, and full of presence. I'm going to explore a little one of the things I heard in your introduction, but I'm going to let Tash have a minute with you first.
okay.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. And thank you, Destiny. Something you said actually piqued a question in my mind, too, when, as you are navigating transformation and evolution. I'm so curious as to what you're most passionate about in this moment.
Wellness, and specifically, there is a great book by Storm Blackwell. It's called The Blackwell Theory. Now, she said something that I'm not sure if I completely agree with at this exact moment. She's in the mental health event that I met her at earlier in May. She talked about how Black people couldn't be healed on in America because this isn't our homeland. She said, but we can be well. And so she's like working towards that is her goal, and that's what she's trying. That's her mission in life is to help other Black women get there. And the book is amazing. It was very eye opening, and I just told myself like, yes, I need to get well. So wellness, and that means physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial. but just wellness overall is my passion in helping others get there as well. I'm constantly sharing information and resources, YouTube videos that I watch that I think will help my friends and family. Um, Pictures from out of books that I read because I'm an avid reader that I think will help other people grow because we're always growing. We never stop.
Yeah,
So um, that will be my biggest passion right now, wellness.
that's awesome.
I love
You
it.
know, I want to tell you that you are on the top of the wave of where leadership is going right now.
Yeah.
The field of leadership has changed. And one of the components that's there now is wellness, you know, and it has to do with mental health, has to do with wellness of the company that you're at, wellness with, I mean, as you radiate wellness, it radiates wellness for others. It gives them the space and the grace to grow. And so, yeah, transformation's in the air too, but it's really, it's, I mean, whatever you thought you knew about leadership and people and communication has really shifted. You know, the big word now is presence. You know, are you present? Are you really there? Because energetically, people know if you are or you aren't, and they respond. You know, likewise. So, like you were talking about talking to the machine earlier, it's much better to talk to a human being. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I have as I heard your path, and you're young, you're just a baby girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're young enough to be my granddaughter. So how's that? So anyway, what I mean, how early did this streak of entrepreneurship come out in you? Because I'm having a hunch you were
Ooh,
that way as a kid.
you are right. Yes. It definitely started in middle school with my grandmother, my grand huge influence in my life. The most positive, kind, caring person you'll ever meet. And she
Mm.
uh, taught me how to make jewelry in middle school. And so we were at Michael's. I don't think Hobby Lobby. They may have been around, but I don't think we really went there. But we definitely went to Michael's and got all the supplies, the wiring, and so I used to sell jewelry to people, mostly the people at church,
Yeah.
and eventually taking it out into the neighborhood and the community. And then I was just, I only did it for like 1 year, and then I fell off of it and went into so many other different activities and crafts and stuff too. But yeah, so about middle school, so 11 to 13 ish. And
Wow.
ever since then, I was like, yeah. And my grandpa was hyping me up right next to her and was like, and my like my money maker, my destiny, like you, like just hyping me up, like you got this, and got more money than him. And I'm like, no way, grandpa, you big money over here. So um, that's where I wanted to be though. And honestly, I was a way better saver at 11 or 13 than I am I'm working on it. I'm going to get back there, but I was a way better saver. I didn't want to spend any of the money that I made. I don't even remember what I was saving for. I just didn't want to spend it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it started
That's
that
awesome.
early.
So you embrace change
Yes, a
and you
lot.
look for it. Yeah. What are the bright lights that you see when something new is coming in?
Well, when something new is coming in, I'm also something I'm working on is impulsive. I'm an impulsive buyer, but not so much of clothes and materials. Like I like experiences. Like I'm constantly on Eventbrite because I'm constantly in new cities and states, and to kind of learn the community that I'm in, I'm constantly looking on libraries, community boards, Eventbrite, Groupon to find out what's going on. And if I see a paint and sip event, I'm buying a ticket. It's like I'm there. So
Nice.
or if I see like how I met Storm Blackwell earlier this year, I found her. It was a free mental health event that she hosted, um, and on Eventbrite, and I got the ticket, and I met so many great community leaders at that event. And I was just open to learning, and what I learned so much. She had us do all these different exercises to kind of learn ourselves, some of our trauma that we may have not been addressing, and just pull that out of us. And I was not resistant. So you are so right that I'm a adapter for sure and open to change, but also I don't want to change too much either that doesn't need to be changed. So that's a rocky place to be in right now in our ever changing and vastly changing economy.
Tash, go ahead.
I have a statement and then a question for you, Destiny. I think it's so apropos that we meet today because I too have been on a wellness journey, particularly over the last 2 years, maybe three. But today I met a goal I've been chasing for the last 12 months. When I woke up
Good,
this morning, I met that
congratulations.
goal. So it is nice to be inspired by someone like you who's so passionate about wellness. And my question for you is I'm hearing you talk a lot about community and connection. And I wonder what are your thoughts on how that is tied in with wellness in any way?
Oh,
Great
it's
question.
it's it's absolutely saved my life. Being out in the community. I'm a social person. Naturally an extrovert. So every time I'm out in the community, like to give an example, literally last night there's an organization in Memphis, created by Zach Osborne called Like Really Creative, and he hosts these journal jams and collage parties and this other
Oh,
all these really great events for creatives or just people that want to meet new people and make connections. And so last night I met four ladies I never met before. We're all sitting at a table. We all got all these magazines spread out, and knowing me, I read the room, read the table, the personalities and the vibes felt great. So I'm yapping along, asking this question, they're asking me questions. And what I constantly get in every place that I live is like, I know the city more than people that have lived there their whole lives because I'm constantly outside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's
I
Yeah,
awesome.
love that. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and so besides being aware and open and wanting to join the community, talk to me a little bit about how you are kind of a connector and
Whew.
create your because I'm hunching you do.
Then yes, the sharing of resources, like of course, and meeting so many people. Like if I know somebody is looking for specifically with even with Zach, when I did have my LinkedIn profile, a man reached out to me because I used to have community builder in my headline on LinkedIn, and so and the man, I think his name was like James Timberlake, and he was in no, he was in Texas, and he needed or he wanted to kind of launch some different community projects, and he was asking me for advice on like how to kind of get the word out there about his project to the community and get more engagement. And I thought that him and Zach would be perfect for connecting. And so I gave Zach his information and James, Zach, and vice versa. And was like, I think, and I told them both like what I was doing and why I was doing it. So that's a specific example. But
That's
I've
great.
got recommendations for food, movies, places to get massages. The stuff in here, and I do take have
Yeah.
like a massive gallery that Google is charging me out the wahoo for because I just don't delete anything. um, so uh, so that
Yeah.
helps me kind of keep track of all the places that I've been, those pictures, because I'm the person that takes a picture of the food and the menu because I'm like, I go so many places, like I need that, and
Yeah.
it comes in handy. It comes in handy. So,
Yeah. Well,
yep.
I'm hearing you're almost a natural coach. You coach people. You know, you're not charging for it right now, but you are. I'm hearing you're an organizer, and actually, you're a marketer. You know,
Um,
you're marketing people, and your enthusiasm is there. And so you have a smorgasbord, so to speak, of skills that you are actually giving to the community out of love, and it's fabulous. And so I have one more question about, not one more question, but one more question on the wave that we're on. Talk to me about how how you use your intuition, because you kind of knew those two guys needed to be connected. I mean, how does that flow through you? Because I know intuition is so important in communication, and I know for years I was very reticent to say stuff. You know, I thought, oh, well, you know. But tell me about your intuition and how it flows through you.
That is what's the discernment, but also just and that's the season I'm in now, being more quiet so I can hear and think and pause. Usually, I'm working on it because usually I will just respond, and I'm the person, whether on the positive side or the negative, and I'm working on not being so reactionary, but in a lot of different ways in a lot of aspects of my life. But um, I will say, what's that, master of none, but jack of all
Not,
trades type of,
yeah.
like I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, do y'all got the exact quote on that by
Oh,
chance?
you
Yeah.
did good. You did good.
You
It's
did.
Okay. Yeah.
jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when it came to Zach and James, it was like, well, I know some stuff, but I know I don't know everything. So I've seen Zach be really successful. Like those parties and journal gems are packed. Like he's actually had to move the venue a couple times because he's anticipated such a big crowd. And it's like I haven't built anything that large scale yet. So, but I've seen somebody who does. So let me just get him connected to somebody. And I know Zach is a really cool guy. So, and Jane seems like a really cool guy. We only had that one conversation. We talked for like 40 minutes via Zoom. After he messaged me on LinkedIn, and yeah, I just yeah, just meeting different people. This I don't know how my brain does it other than that. Just knowing that I don't know
That's good.
everything, but I know a lot of different pieces of the puzzle, even if I don't know how to put it
Yeah.
together all the
Yeah.
way.
Right. But you know how to step into it and do it. Tash, tell me your experiences with your intuition.
Well, I love what you said, Destiny, because I think the part we rarely talk about is when it comes to intuition, if you're actually employing it, there's a requirement to be obedient without having all the answers, right? With
Yeah.
all you just said it, you don't I don't quite know how it all adds up, but I know I need to do this thing, right? I know I need to bring these people together. And that was the part that scared me for so long. And once I finally let go of the fear and just started being obedient, my. I've
Yeah.
never been
Yeah.
misled, right, by my intuition ever.
Right.
How's your
Yeah.
experience, Destiny, with that?
Well, when it comes to jobs, it was honestly I can't even say the intuition was there. When I went into restaurant management, I knew it wasn't for me, but I was chasing money. I was thinking like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I want these student loans gone now, so I need a
Yes.
bigger paycheck. And I went into that restaurant management job and immediately did not like it. But I stuck it out for a total of 4 months before shifting into retail management. And so I can't say my intuition was always there. You don't want this, but I did it anyway. So has my intuition ever led me astray? in dating, possibly like the eyes want what they want, but it, that it's probably a lot of different examples. Uh,
Yeah.
but no, I think my intuition is good. I've been not obedient in a lot of ways, and I'm now seeing some things my mom, the wisdom that she shared with me in
Mm.
my life is like, yeah, if I had listened, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
So,
and if you wouldn't have had the experience, you wouldn't have had the learning. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not really a mistake. It's just,
mhm,
go there and then learn that lesson, and then you can pull back. But and it has to do with trusting yourself, which is a journey.
Yes.
I'm still
Yes.
learning that, and like I said, I'm a grandma, so you just keep learning. I really think you've got some possibilities, even diving into podcasting,
Hmm.
with your connections, bringing people together. And under the title of wellness, it's absolutely a
Absolutely.
hot topic right now, because of all the neuroscience that's directing our decisions and our wellness into our gut
Mm.
rather than just in our head. And I know, I'm learning to meditate right now and go into coherence, and it's fabulous. And it's, I've been doing it since like March and April. At first, I never thought I'd get there, and I'm starting to get there. So,
yeah,
it happens. Like, but it's like going to the gym, so to speak. You just have to practice it and be consistent. But so, what are you reading next? It sounds like you read fabulous books.
the I'm simultaneously trying to finish a fun book. Um, the fun book is because the fun book is called The Best Man Unfinished Business by Maxwell D. Lee or Malcolm D. Lee, I believe. Is his name. He's a writer and creator of the movie The Best Man, The Best Man Holiday, and then The Best Man
Oh.
series on Peacock. Um, and the reason I'm reading that is because there's a business out here called Salt Memphis. Um, it's a black owned business, and they constantly have like comedy show nights. They have a book club. They have authors come there to kind of host and book signing. And when it's a comedy nights, I think this upcoming Sunday they're going to have Adele Gibbons there. So they're
Oh,
constantly hosting events like that. It says Malcolm is coming, I believe, next Wednesday, the September 2nd. I'm like, I got to finish this book. I'm like 50% the way through. And I read it at the gym. So on my
oh,
Kindle, so I have it electronically, but I always have I prefer hard copy books. And I'm constantly at the library checking them out, but I also will buy them from discount stores and such too. Um, and so the more serious wellness book right now, The Gifts of Imperfection by Dr. Brene Brown. So I just started that one actually 2 days ago. So because before that, I'm actually I do read a lot of books. It was a book by a comedian. I actually didn't finish that book if I'm being honest because I didn't resonate with it. It was a book that I bought from this amazing bookstore. Novel. It's an amazing bookstore out here in Memphis. It was a book called Everything's Trash but Okay, or yeah, I think that's what it was called. Everything's trash, but okay. And I gave it a try for like two chapters, and it just wasn't there for me and connecting. So
yeah,
I donated it to the free little library that's at my local park. That's usually where I put books that I don't think anybody else in my life can benefit from. So I just
sure.
put them there, and yeah. So
That's
so
awesome.
that's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, no, and a couple of things. It's really good to don't give a book any more than two chapters if it doesn't
That's right.
resonate with you.
Hmm.
Just, I learned that the hard way, try to plow through stuff. The other thing, and this is hard for me because I'm definitely a self-help book reader or something, teaching, learning something, some sort of theory. But fun books and fiction are really good for you because they make
Mm-hmm.
you think metaphorically or in pictures. So that in the Bible where they have parables, it's sort of the same
Yeah.
thing. And so it's really healthy to read those fun books and have fun with them and let those creative juicers think in bigger pictures than this is the list I need to do, so it's really true. Tash, what's a book or two you've read recently that you want to tell us about?
I'm reading one right now, and the author's name is escaping me. Taya. It's called Kin, and it's been like on a bunch of lists this summer. It's the first fiction book I'm reading in a
Good for
long
you.
time, but boy, am I enjoying it! It's
Good.
really thought provoking. It's a tale of two young women and how they're navigating what they want to do in life back in the 1950s and 60s.
Wow.
And I have to say, too, Destiny was coming up for me. So I'm an author. I wrote a book called Fiercely Joyful about living authentically and creating a life you love. What's coming up for me is there's a book in Destiny, too. I don't know
Yeah,
when it's coming out, but
there
there's
is.
a book in Destiny.
Yeah,
I
I
feel it.
agree.
I
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah.
And I can't
I
wait for the world to experience it. But you have such a wealth of knowledge and lived experience to share that the world needs to hear. So
yeah,
I'm hopeful that that's
yeah.
coming.
And
Yep.
enthusiasm. You know
Yes,
what I mean? You've got a great personality that shines,
yes.
and you get to just work on letting that light shine, and then everything that's supposed to come is going to come.
Hmm.
The financial abundance will come, the person that you're supposed to be with will come, and you're building community, which is,
Yes.
you know, building community is one of the keystone leadership skills.
Yep.
It really is, and so I realize that management can be hard, but you're probably going to be leading some stuff, but maybe stuff that you've built from the ground up. So alignment and foundation is going to be really important. And so the health journey you're on is positive. I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm excited. So have you got any questions for Tash or me? Anything come up in you?
Thank you so much. And the predictions here and the intuition here is so aligned because yes, podcasting has been on my mind for a really long time actually since ever since I started listening to podcasts. I I said I can do this, uh, but just the alignment hasn't been there because like I do so many different things, and I want to talk about so much. It's like where do I go, and that's where what I'm working on right now is
Mm-hmm.
what what does that look like for Destiny without any other influences or what's my lane basically,
Yeah.
and so and then the book. There's a book coming. There are books coming.
Good,
So
good. A library. You have to fill your library, right?
Exactly.
yes, and
Yeah.
the question for you, Tosh, is that the courage to publish, like where, how did you get there? Because the book that I want to write is it's going to start with my life, and there are certain things that it's like, well, I don't really know if I want to put that out there, but I know if I put this out there, it'll help somebody else.
That's
My
right. That's
experiences,
right.
um, and it's like, will I be able to hit publish once I finish? So, what did that process look like for you to just be like, take it to the editor, publisher, and just go?
Oh, that's such a wonderful question, Destiny. I wrote with only focus on what I believed the message was I needed to share. I didn't think at all about how people would receive it. Maybe too much so, because I'll tell you this. I surprised some people because I told all. I started mine with the biographical chapter, kind of like what you're talking about. I told all my business, the good, bad, and ugly. And had kind of forgotten that some of my family, I hadn't told about some of the things. Like I had gone through molestation and rape and all these things, and they had no idea. And so there was like some, we love your book, but you could have told us, after the fact. But when I went to my publisher and I said, I want to do this chapter, they were like, that's not very joyful. I said, no, but it is part of my truth and my journey that got me to the joy. So I need to share it. And they pushed back a lot. And I said, sorry, it's staying. So
Yeah.
figure it out. But when I published Destinee and I started doing book readings and book events, do you know that is the chapter that so many, particularly women, came up to me and said, thank you for writing this. I felt like you were writing my story. I haven't told anyone what I've endured, the trauma I've experienced, this, that, and the other. I've told no one, and I finally felt seen.
Yeah.
So it mattered. I followed my intuition. I was
Yeah.
obedient despite what everybody tried
Yeah.
to push me to do. And it helped, it helped the
Yeah.
world. So I encourage you to just put out there what you and your spirit know needs to be said.
Yeah, yeah, that's the healing that takes place.
Mhm.
That's where you become a healer. And I don't know
Absolutely.
about Tash, but I consider what the work she does is about truth telling all the time.
Yes.
And it's very powerful. And it's healing.
Hmm.
She's a healer. I'm a
Thank you.
communication coach and a teacher, but I consider myself a healer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that might be where you're going with your mental health journey, is realizing that everything you do comes down to that core, that God put you
Hmm.
on this earth to be a healer through
Yeah.
your story. And so whatever happened is perfect, because it wouldn't have, you wouldn't have
Yes.
unfolded the way that you did. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. So I'm going
Beautifully
to give
said.
you a little bit of history on this podcast, okay?
Okay.
Uh, when I was about a year and a half ago, a former colleague and I started this. She and her husband named it Meeting on the Bridge, and I said, well, I don't know what it should be called. But we were going to just share tools that I've used in my consulting work and, kind of be teaching. And we did that for about 2 weeks. We started out just doing audio because we didn't have a clue on how to do video.
Yep.
And and then all of a sudden Sandy said, let's just find out about the people that are on here. Let's let them tell their stories. Let's hear their journey. That's why we're meeting on the bridge, is to just
Yep.
share stories and connect. And
Yes.
so it all kind of fell together, and then we started, you know, we started the video. I didn't get along with Zoom, so we tried Restream, and so here today we have our first sound check. Never done that before, so just learned 2 weeks ago we could get rid of feedback with headsets. So I'm learning one step at a time. And the thing that I love the most, not only are the podcasts, but I love the recruiting.
Mhm.
And I basically recruit from the people I
You're so good
know.
at it.
And then I find them on LinkedIn, and I say, well, and they get to say 2 sentences. And then I invite them, and I send them a link to look at it. And then they say yes. So that's why you're here too. And so we're expanding to a new series called Wee Bits of Wisdom from the Bridge.
Oh,
And
I love it.
yeah, and
Nice.
it's just, we're going to bring people on like you. And Tash, I've invited her to 10, 15 minutes of a video. And I want you to come on here and we'll do the video with you. You don't have to do it on your own. And then I'm going to expand that into this new field of leadership. I see all the components on the
Mm,
bridge, so it's coming. Maybe it'll be a book, Tash. I don't
I
know,
love
but
it.
it's
Yes.
it's the new discipline, and I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet, but it's exciting. So,
Mm,
you've got the world ahead of you, Destiny, and we're just so glad you came on. So we're going to. So any advice for young people your age who are entrepreneurial and full of life and love?
Whew. Absolutely. So many things, and it's just because of women like you that you all that have come before me, just sharing wisdom and learning how to love yourself first, because you can't really give what you don't have. And it took me
Yeah.
a long time to get to this point. Cause, but on the outside, I've always been a positive person, and I've always had been able to put on the mask of being okay and getting things done. But internally, it's been a lot of stuff going on and turmoil, and me seeking, and especially in dating, seeking validation from outside sources, and letting them determine my worth instead of me finding it for myself. So I would just and I see that happening more and more on social media, and people abandoning themselves to please others, and whether it's for dating or for views, for the promoters or the people that are behind the brands, and so forth. Like, they're not being authentic, and it's like, no, who are you? So learn to love yourself and put
Yeah.
that stuff forward in front of the world, and get the feedback and then don't. And I know I said it earlier that I'm an adapter. Um, don't if you don't. There's the thing about change. So um, don't be resistant to change if it's going to help you grow. But if you don't think it's beneficial for you to change this habit, and if because like Dr. Brene Brown just said, and as I read in that book yesterday, the chapter that I was reading, she said she just scrolled on social media, and she felt in her past stuff she would have felt unproductive, like that, like she needs to be constantly doing something. And when she just took that time to kind of scroll on social media for a couple of hours, like she no longer felt guilt or the shame of just wasting time. Because it didn't feel like wasted time for her. It was how she decompressed. It was calming and relaxing for her. So I know we're constantly in the hustle and bustle of like get this done. I was that person for forever. Like I'm. This is the first year where I've sat still, um,
Good.
ever, and so learn to do what's best for you, but also um, don't block out opportunities for growth either. So that's yes, that's what I would
Good.
Love
say.
it.
That's really good.
Love it.
Well, that's wonderful. So looking at, everything we've talked about, what's one takeaway that you are taking with you, Destiny, from our conversation? And Tasha's going to go, and then me. It's after you.
Whew. I'll take the affirmations of shining my light, because there's been some alleyways and byways where I've let it be dim, and that wellness is thank you so much, because I intend to not let anybody else ever dim my light again, and to keep shining, keep moving forward, and yeah, I say
Awesome.
thank you both for that.
Yeah. Tash, what's the takeaway?
For me, it's that discussion we had about discernment and intuition and obedience. And the message there is it's about progress, not perfection. We're
Yeah,
never
yeah.
going to get it right every time, but we want to make progress. That's the key.
Absolutely.
That's my
Absolutely.
takeaway.
And I'm taking away really hope
Mm,
about, I mean, you are just a young girl. You are
yes.
just shining bright, moving towards wellness, mature beyond your years. And you're
Yeah.
a reader and a learner, and, learning and being curious is so important too. And you're just doing that every breath you take. I love it. I love it.
Love it.
So, thank you, everybody who you've been with us today. We're going to close now. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Destiny. What a wonderful journey we've had on the bridge this morning, this afternoon, whatever we are at today. How's that today? And I'd like you ladies to just hang on while I close the recording. So we'll be back. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you.